Hey guys, this is Chodaros Designs, Chodaros Bling, and new tutorial today. And this is called the Westeria bracelet, and it was created by Yumetosato off Instagram. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. It is a hook-only design, and this inside part, it is actually the beginning steps of the Butterfly Lane Bracelet, which was created by Kaeurainbowloom on Instagram as well as on YouTube. So both links will be in the description box. Please click on both. Kaeurainbowloom does have a pictorial posts on Instagram on how to create this centerpiece. So the Westeria bracelet is simply, again, the centerpiece of Butterfly Lane with borders. Okay, so it's fairly simple, and we're going to attempt to recreate it today. So this is what we need to create for this inside part, okay? And it's not hard, but it could be a little bit tricky. So this is what it has to look like pretty much when you're finished, okay? So the point is to have 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, okay? So it comes out in a pretty cool pattern like this. And you want to make this about, mine is 2.5 times my wrist size, because as we're adding the border, think of it like this. It is going to be loomed all squished up like this, okay? So if you squish up, if I squish all of this up, it actually fits my wrist. So 2.5, I think 40 to 44 bands. So there's a couple different ways that you can make this. So I'm going to attempt to try to explain. I'm going to use 2 different colors. The limited edition Blaze Orange or something, and then the Cylindric Black to try to explain. Okay, I'm going to, just for demonstration purposes, use this Ellie Blaze or so, orange and black. So our goal is to make it where you have 2 loops on top, 2 loops on the bottom, top, bottom, okay? So it seems like when I do talking in the beginning, I can't get it to work correctly, so I might be quiet. All I ask is that you just kind of watch what I'm doing. But I will say, I always take my right band and lay it on top of my left band, okay? And the whole goal is to take this right band behind the left and bring it through the center and just carefully make it into a little knot, okay? Now I want to turn this around, and I want to take my next band, put it on top, and do the same. Push it back behind and through the black band like that, and that starts a little pattern. Now I want to turn it over, add my next band on top, push it behind and through like that. Now I want to turn it over again, get my next band, put it on top, push it behind and through the loop, get a little pull. Okay, so you can see it's making that pattern. So the goal is every time you add one, turn it over. If you don't turn it over, just in my experience, it will not give you the pattern that you're looking for. And in order to do the zigzags, we have to have two loops on top, 2 loops on bottom, and so forth. Okay? It's got to come out like that. But it's super simple because every time we're just turning it over. So again, always put your right loop on top of the left, pinch it with your left hand, and put that loop behind, and just put it through the middle and grab it. Just make that little tiny knot. Do not pull. You don't want to pull this tight. Okay? I want to turn it over and do the same. Okay? Over again. And the same. So this is how it should look. If it does not come out like this, that means you forgot to turn it over. Okay? If you pull it tight, it's okay as long as the bands stay the way they're supposed to. These are limited edition, so they're a little slippery, so they're constantly going to come out of their knot. It's okay for them to come out of their knot as long as you have it secured. Okay, so again, you guys can go ahead and finish this up. If you need, rewind and check it out. And I'm going to just go ahead and start the next step because I already have my chain done. Okay, so this is 1.5 lengths, 1.5 wraps around my wrist. Okay, because what happens is, the reason that we would need all of these little loops together is because every time we go to grab, we're grabbing these as a set. The next one as a set. The next one as a set. So really, if you scrunch this whole bracelet that you just made up, this whole size should end up being the size of your wrist. It's just because it's pulled apart so far right now that it has to be 2.5 times the wrist size. I believe I used about 40 bands, or 44. Okay? And now there's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can use definitely a rainbow loom hook, but I prefer to use my crochet hook, and this is a 5/0 3/0 hook, double-ended hook. Okay, so we're going to be working backwards that way. So first we want to stick our hook into one end of the bracelet, and I'm going to use 2 colors. I'm going to use this baby pink silk, and I'm going to use glitter pink. Okay, because you have 2 color options if you like. So in this one, in the orange or in the pink and white, I used pink and white on this part of the bracelet. Now for my border, I used black and purple. So I'll show you which ways to add your bands so you can have different colors. So I'm going to add the pink one first, or the pink silk through, and then I want to close it up. Then I want to take my next color, and I just want to take it through that first loop and close it up. Okay, now these are the instructions that were given to me from Yumetosato, but we're going to do it possibly another way if it would be easier. So you want to pinch this and you want to take it off your hook. Now the only tricky part that you really have to pay attention to is, because this is so thin, it's going to twist on you. So every time we have to go and grab bands, we have to make sure that it's straight. Okay, like this is upside, now this is right side up. because every time you go to grab a band, you have to have 2 loops to grab through. So I'm going to stick my hook through underneath those 2 loops right there, and then I'm going to put the bands back on my hook. Like that. Okay, now my first color I used, I want to grab again, and I'm going to take everything on my hook and pull it on top of this new band. Like that. So that was only to start the bracelet. So from here on out, just my suggestion, what I like to do is go ahead and take my hook out, make sure that my bracelet is not twisted because I need to grab 2 more loops, and I'm going to put these 2 loops on right now, and then just have 2 bands to add to my hook. Okay, now because we already have these 2 first bands, we can go ahead with that second color and just pull it through that first loop and close it up. And now we take our first color and everything on our hook goes on top of this band. Like that. So now you can see what it does is every other, all these little points are going to be for our second side of the bracelet. Okay, so that's good. You want that pointing down. Okay, so another way you can do it is you can take, and I'm only going to take maybe 3. Got to make sure that it's straight. I'm going to take, because I have a double-ended hook, I'm going to go 3 ahead. So that's 1 group, that's 2 group, and this is 3 group. And I'm going to just preload these, okay, and put these bands back on my hook. So if you have a double-ended hook or a long crochet hook, you can already have these ready in line, so you do not have to take these bands off. So we go ahead and add our center color, just grabbing that 1 loop, and then our first color, and that goes through everything but just the first 2 of that chain and close it up. Okay, so now we have our next set already on our hook. So middle color, only the first loop, and now the first color, grab everything in that set and close it up. Okay, so you see once again, you're getting these points. I think maybe that one might have got twisted. Let me take that out for a second. Yep, always got to make sure that these this doesn't get twisted. Okay, so mine got twisted there, so I have to go back. Okay, and untwist. And get in between those 2 and put these back on my hook. And there, I got my point down there. And then close it up by adding all the loops over. Okay, I hope I explained it okay. It's really simple. Alright, so again, we can add this. Then the other option is to slide it down to the other end And make sure that your bracelet is straight. And then you can just add your 2 loops on like this. As long as it's creating that point down there, you have it the right way. And then you can simply slide it all the way back and then add your final band to close. I'm sorry, I had a phone call that came in. It might have got cut off. So again, let's stick our band in and grab that 1 loop, and then we can push it down to the other end of the hook. Make sure that this part is straight in order. Just stick your hook through these 2 loops like that. You know you have the right ones if it creates a point. If it creates a point down here, okay? So now we can slide it to the other end and then pull that final band through all the loops on our hook. Okay, so that's what you should have so far. So I'm going to do it just a little bit faster, and then we'll break out and finish on our own. The other thing is, when you grab these 2 loops, you need to make sure that you're in the center of the band it's going through. So all of my bands on the outside are the glitter pink, and my inside bands are the silk pink. Okay, so that's because I started out with a silk and then a glitter pink, so it's every other band. Okay, so I think you guys will get the hang of this. And like I said, the only thing, please make sure that this is not twisted. So the next one should always be sitting right there on top for you, so you can stick your hook in those top loops, put it back on your hook, and then pull your final band through all the loops like that. And always making sure in between each that you have a point hanging down, because when we're done with this one side, we're going to come to this side and do the same stitch. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish all the way to the end here. And if you don't have a C-clip on there, just go ahead and add these bands into a C-clip onto this side, and then we will start the other side. Okay, so I have reached the end, which this is what you should have. And what's going to happen is some of these are going to be overlapped, which is normal, but when we go to put them on our hook, we need to make sure that they are not. Okay, so they need to look like that, straight. So you can try to fix them now if you'd like, but they could still end up like that. So when we go to put them on their hook, we'll just make sure they're straight. Alright, so this is how we ended the one side. So I'm going to take the other end, make sure that it's straight, and put it on my hook. And I'm going to take another Sweets color, which is my inside color, and I'm going to put that through all 3 loops like this. And now this is going to start our other side. So we want to turn it around and do exactly what we've been doing. Okay, so it's a lot easier now because you have these little, I don't know what to call them, but these ones that are sticking out, we already know those are what we need to grab. So again, you put your hook through those 2 loops, put these bands back on your hook, and because we already have this first band on there, we grab that center color and just grab the first loop, close it up, and grab our outside color and stick everything on top of that band. Okay, so take that off, go to the next one in line, put our hook through, put that back on our hook, and grab the middle color. No, actually this is the border color, I'm sorry. Like that. And then everything on that band. Okay, take that off. Next in line. It's always the 2, there's always 2 sticking up. Those on your hook. The one band through that loop, and then the other band to close it up. Okay, so you can kind of see at the beginning it's a little bit muffled, but you can see how it turns out zigzagged. So take that off. And then pull your band all the way through. So this side's a lot quicker, I think, to do. Uh-oh. That one got away from me. There we go. So just through that first loop, and then through everything. So I bet you could tell. You see now? You see how much just from doing that one side, how it shrank it all the way up? So you really had to make sure that you had enough loomed. Okay, so now this is an example. You see those 2 are crossed. Make sure that they are straight when you put them on your hook. Don't leave them crossed. Make sure that they're straight. See, like this one? Look, I wasn't even paying attention. You can unstraighten that. You can straighten them while they're on. But I guess it's just a scare. Like I had to make sure mine were straight, you know. So let's see if I can't get all of this done. And once you get the hang of it, you can really zip through. I am just loving this center chain. I think it is so cool. You could do all kinds of borders on it. Almost finished. I'm sorry, I know I'm going quickly, but I think you guys get the hang of it, and it's just as easy for me to just finish it up on film than it is to edit it out, because editing is not my friend. Oh. All right, I think we have one more. Maybe I'll go ahead and grab that one. Close it up. And that, because we have no C-clip, we went straight around. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab, this got twisted. Grab those two bands there. Maybe that one there too. And then these two. How about that? And then pull another band through like that. And then adding a C-clip. And voila. This is our new Westeria bracelet. Love it. I think it came out really awesome. So these are my two combos, color combos, and I can see I have to possibly go through and look and untwist any. There could be a couple bands that are twisted, so you want to go through and untwist them. It's just, it makes it look better, neater. Okay, so big thank you to Kaeurainbowloom for the Butterfly Lane chain, we'll call it, design. Wonderful. Thank you for letting us use it in the tutorial. Big shout out to Yumetosato for allowing me to create this tutorial and share it with all of you. think it's a really, really cool bracelet. So again, it's the Westeria by Yumetosato on Instagram, and credits for the single chain to Kaeurainbowloom on Instagram. So I hope you guys enjoyed making this as much as I did, and please share your renditions with us on Instagram, and it's hashtag Westeria bracelet, and include myself, Chodaros _Bling, and hashtag Yumetosato and Kaeurainbowloom, which I will put their IG names down below. So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned. Got a lot more coming. Till next time, bye bye.